Good morning, good evening, afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on, what time zone you are in. I'm your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I am Sweet Pea from across the pond when I could find my unmute button.
And we're back at it again. We are back.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Yes. Is it Friday already?
It is.
Good God. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Today brought to you by Svetka. Oh, this is mango pineapple. This is going to be my first time tasting this. Oof. Syrupy. Yeah. Well, Mamdani is finally in the mayoral house. I didn't know this, but he just he moved out of his single bedroom apartment in Queens. The right wingers have been, wringing their hands going, "Oh no, he's an elite millionaire. He comes from a millionaire family." And I'm like, what is he doing living in, I wouldn't say squalor, but he didn't come from a mansion. I'm sorry, what do you call that? That's crazy. I was really worried. I didn't know if he'd make it to the mayoral mansion because, we've got a bunch of crazies in this country who I wouldn't put it past him to, end his life. So I was a little apprehensive. I thought, well, I'm glad he got elected, but is he going to make it to be able to do anything good? Are the powers that be going to let him make decisions and this, that? Are they even going to let him in? So I guess we'll find out. So apparently he comes from he moved out of a 1-bedroom apartment that had leaky pipes, of all things. Leaky pipes. Yeah, so it's just amazing. And then the first day on the job, I think his first day, he's meeting with his constituents. And looking through their apartment, looking at the decrepit conditions, the paint peeling off the walls, pipes just leaking into the apartment, and he wants to do something about slumlords who make their tenants live in absolute squalor while they do nothing to do anything. While they don't do any repairs, they don't do any upkeep of their own properties. But it was said that there's an article I haven't read yet, but it basically says New York is the biggest slumlord. So I'm curious to see where they're coming, what angle they're approaching this at. But if it's just going to be a bunch of right-wing talking points and rhetoric, I don't have time for it. So we're going to see how good or how bad Mamdani's been doing. By the way, if you like independent media in your life and you want more of it, please consider supporting our show. You can support us through Cash App, Venmo, or Patreon. And you did find us on YouTube, but you can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and now Substack. So follow us on all the things. We're everywhere.
And if you follow us on Blue Sky, well, I will follow you back. I'm sure Skeptically would as well.
We'll see. You never know. I'm trying to keep my followers on Blue Sky. I'm trying to only keep people that have valid information to share. Because right now my feed is just cluttered with this, that, and the third. And I'm like, thank you for sharing your hobby, but I don't know that, I just don't know if I want to hear it. Thank you for sharing, though. I appreciate it, but no. So let's see how Mamdani's doing. First things first, let's go to the nation. First 100 days, Mamdani starts governing by getting the imagery right. Okay. Do we care about that? Guess we'll find out. On the first Monday of new mayor's first week in office, a returning visitor to room 9, the press room just off the right side of the lobby, was struck by how little was changed. The scenery has been upgraded with laptops and iPads now replacing more cumbersome computer terminals, and the phalanxes of daily tabloid and weekly magazine reporters reduced to a handful, their ranks replaced by staffers from online organs whose pedigrees barely stretch past the de Blasio administration. Still, the big P here, Target, a prop from independent candidate Bodil's protest over de Blasio's downgrading of the penalties for public urination. The personnel, likewise, have been refreshed, and, City Hall was, guess they're going to be looking for an upgrade. It would be great. I mean, we don't need any bougie shit, though. I mean, do upgrade it as far as technology is concerned, but yeah, we don't need to spend millions of dollars, just to... Don't be a Donald Trump. That's what I'm hoping happens. New York mayor's popular moves on rent and free childcare defied right-wing predictions of a far-left hellscape. I know, right? I mean, who knew that once you start making changes for the working people, making life easier for single mothers, life just tends to get easier. And these right-wing nut jobs are just wringing their hands going, oh, it's going to be a hellscape. Oh, the billionaires are going to leave. And I'm like, you know what? Would that be the worst thing in the world if billionaires leave? What do they bring to the table? So here's some of the predictions they made. They said, oh, there's going to be a spike in crime, a reduction in freedom. Underline that word freedom because it does not mean what they think it means. They're worried about rich people fleeing the city. A conservative think tank predicted the collapse, dependency, political repression, basically turning New York into a Venezuela or Cuba. What's interesting about those two countries that they mentioned, both Venezuela and Cuba suffered from U.S. intervention and suffered from U.S. corporations basically acting as parasites, just taking the resources, establishing governments in those two countries so that way it would only benefit the U.S. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean what they think it means because they don't study, they don't read history, and they don't care to. And anything that shows the U.S. in a negative light, they of course ignore it. The reality of Mamdani's first few days in office have been rather different, as the 34-year-old has eschewed turning the city into a forewarned dystopian nightmare in favor of making progress on campaign promises like housing and rent, while also conducting minor municipal repairs. After an inauguration in New Year's Day that saw thousands of New Yorkers brave sub-zero temperatures to attend, Mamdani swiftly got to work on chipping away at perhaps the most ambitious mayoral agenda in modern history. The issue of affordable housing formed the backbone of Mamdani's campaign, and on his first day in office, he created 2 task forces aimed at creating new development. One will review city-owned land to see if it is suitable for construction, while the other aims to identify and remove bureaucratic and permitting barriers that slow down building of homes. Affordable housing, exactly. This is what we need more of. So the links of these articles will be in the description. Read them at your leisure. The new mayor also announced an eye-catching series of rental rip-off hearings where tenants will be able to testify about their living conditions with a view of cracking down on negligent landlords. Oh, now wouldn't that be amazing? If you got a slumlord, you can literally go to a hearing. Imagine that. And put your landlord on trial. I've been seeing quite a few TikToks recently where they've reported things not working in the apartment and they don't get a response. They literally take their landlords to court and immediately they get a response. Oh, yeah. We'll be there and we'll fix this and we'll fix that. It's like, you know what? And they're like, you know what? It's too late. You should have responded months ago when I tried telling you this. And it takes an act of the court to get you off your ass.
I think the US needs to implement more laws for landlords to follow like they do in the UK. Like, it is a landlord's responsibility to fix, replace anything that is broken in the property that they own, provided that the tenant's not at fault for breaking it. Like, if you've got like a burst water pipe, or toilet's broken, or say if your apartment was partly furnished when you moved in and you've got like the oven, microwave, and say, you know, other things that is covered by the tenant agreement, they should be covered by the landlord. And I think the US needs to bring in and implement some of those laws so tenants are protected, you know, because it is a landlord's duty of care to make sure that their building is up to, you know, safety codes and standards. And if something is broke, it is the landlord's complete responsibility to make sure that it is fixed in a timely manner, not ignored, you know.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Yeah, but it gets worse because not only do you have slumlords, but you've got homeless shelters that are way out of compliance with health and safety codes. Later that week, Mamdani issued an executive order that gave officials 45 days to bring city homeless shelters into compliance with health and safety codes, and similarly ordered officials to come up with a plan to improve conditions in New York's jails, including ending solitary confinement. A highlight and a thumb in the eye of those who said Mamdani would be thwarted by New York Governor Kathy Hochul. It came when that pair released a plan on Thursday to provide free childcare for 2-year-olds in New York City. I was wondering about the governor working with Mamdani, but apparently she's working with him, and that's good. I feared the worst. I thought she would, but I guess she's seeing the writing on the wall. She's like, yeah, I don't think it would be wise at this time to to play politics and you know, anyway, it's good news. I'm glad to hear it. So you got them working on free childcare. These are all the measures Mamdani promised during his year-long campaign. So, I mean, it is a surprise to me that they're actually getting done, to be honest. And I would like to see them reform the New York Police Department. That is going to be a massive undertaking. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I do not. I mean, the New York Police Department is owned and operated by thugs, gang members that wear guns and badges. Go ahead.
Isn't that part of? I was just going to say, isn't that part of Mamdani's agenda as well? That he's said that he will be signing orders into effect to disband protest breaking units like ISAP.
I don't know. He may have run on that. I didn't hear that.
I've sent you some articles to the show chat pertaining to that.
Okay.
It's just a list of things that he has achieved already within his 8 days, and the list of things that he would like to achieve whilst he is in office.
If he gets it done, bravo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I can see he ran on it. Now, what is the plan?
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be the big thing. That's going to be tough. You got a lot of Nazis in New York. Good luck.
He does. I hope he gets the police reform that he's wanting to get, where peaceful protests can't be broken up simply because the officers are not liking what they're hearing. And let's be honest. ICE is nothing but a hired bunch of goons by Trump to terrorize and torture citizens. So
just on cue, Fox News is like, they're sorry about this. With the quote, Mamdani sides with tenants. Okay. This is in response to his plan to crack down on the worst New York landlords, while the right-wing New York Post displayed its objections to the rental ripoff hearings by quoting the head of the landlord lobby group. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, why does Fox think it's bad for Mamdani to be siding with tenants? Means it's tenants that get in shafted all the time. They're overpaying for places that are not properly,
because that's communist, that's socialist, that's communism. To them, that exactly. Anything that advocates for workers, anything that advocates for the poor, the working class, is socialist, communist, satanic. This is what they run on. This is how they display it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to put a point across there for people to think about and let it sink in. So they don't want people actually doing a job, but they like bragging about how many jobs that they have made. Can someone make that make sense? They brag about all the new jobs that they're bringing in, yet they don't actually like anybody doing the jobs.
Yeah.
All right. That's like Republicans all over, walking contradictions.
Yeah, anything that benefits the working class is terrible. Z Network. Zohran Mamdani has quickly gotten down to business. Sworn in as mayor in just over a week, he's wasting no time beginning to govern. He's issued 12 executive orders, including 2 emergency executive orders. The previous administration took several months to hit that number. He did it in his first week. It's like, okay. And he's actually started canceling out executive orders by Eric Adams. So we'll see. Eric Adams, as you know, is a Trump-supporting MAGA who ran on the Democratic ticket. Executive Order 3 revives the mayor office to protect tenants. The agency was created in 2019, but defunded and sidelined under Mayor Eric Adams. There you go. For far too long, bad landlords have been allowed to mistreat their tenants with impunity. That ends today. Nice. So, go ahead.
Beans Mamdani comes from Queens. I bet he's encountered a few bad landlords in his time. So he probably knows what needs to be done to get this sorted so tenants are actually protected. What laws that need to be changed to make sure that tenants are actually protected from bad landlords that make decisions to line their own pockets instead of protecting and serving the tenants.
Well, what is protected the landlords is scarcity. When everyone's competing for apartments, they can jack up the rent as high as they want because supply and demand. So this is where Executive Order 4 comes in. Yeah. He, over the next 10 years, he's planning on building 200,000 new housing units over the next decade, trying to provide affordable shelter to many, bringing the rents down for everyone else. So when you get enough housing, you can bring the rents down. Great.
Gina, I have a proposal for Zohran Mamdani. If he manages to do this and we can get Trump out of office, I will move to New York and I will rent a place off him if he can get this done. But we need to get rid of Trump and all the rest of them first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Executive Order 8, basically directed at, again, what I just said, it should be illegal, but it's going to be illegal soon by just abusively jacking up your rents to the point where only the rich can afford lousy housing. Yeah, I mean, it's getting so bad. I mean, it's like Blade Runner. You know, you got these rundown, leaky buildings, and it's just, you've got all of this technology, you've got all of this, and it's just, this is what you show the world? This is the best we can do? Come on. Executive Order 9 and 10 are going to be targeting junk fees, hidden charges that inflate price at checkout. Subscription traps and stuff like things like that. Basically, safety issues and health and safety at Rikers Island, the infamous jail, improving the city's homeless shelter system, reforming the process of appointing judges to city courts. I mean, my God, you had me at Executive Order 1. You don't need to sell me. It's wild. It's like amazing. This could have been done decades ago, and they just lost. They should have done this. They should have done this decades ago, and they lost. I don't know why in the world they waited. I just, amazing to me why the people of New York, you could have had, Zohran Mamdani is not the first person. It's like he could, let's see here. Let's move on to Not Me and Us. Okay, that's Senator Bernie Sanders. So, I mean, let's say populist candidates come and go. We've had their dime a dozen. I don't know, why did it take so long for New Yorkers to, it's like, why in the world would you go to MAGA? I'm just thinking of all the places that are MAGA strongholds in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I don't understand. New Yorkers have got so much freedoms under democratic order. I will never understand why they would want to restrict themselves by living under Republican law. It's so restrictive.
They have no ideas. None. They want things to continue as they are.
Now, should we take Texas as an example of how the Republicans run their states, where they take money that has been allocated to get things fixed? They don't get things fixed.
I would go to Arkansas, Mississippi, places, Louisiana, places like that. Texas gets a lot of federal funding.
Now, if the federal funding was to go away,
yeah, their city goes away. Yeah, the whole state goes away.
Now, and the reason I pick Texas is how many chances have they had and how much funding have they had to actually get the power grid sorted out so residents have got heat in winter. That money that has been allocated to them has not been spent on fixing the power grid that, let's be honest, is needed updating for the past 4 decades, if not longer.
Yeah, I mean, if you want New York to become Texas, just keep voting MAGA. Just keep voting.
That camp where those kids drowned.
Kerr County, Texas. Yep.
Yeah, they had money that was allocated to them to get things fixed
on a platter
to make sure kids were kept safe. They spent that on a concrete path. It makes no sense. Like, I'm sure you've got examples from other states that have been run by Republicans and they're completely running those states into the ground. Let's be honest. Most Republicans, especially Republicans under Trump, don't understand how to run things conductively and concisely that benefits towards a thriving society. They don't put things into place that people need to make sure that future generations are going to benefit from things that are happening now. Republicans are too stuck in the mud to even think about for future generations. They're all too busy just lining their pockets for themselves, unless something personally happens to them, and then they will cry about it for like 2 seconds, but once they get what they want, they go back to being stuck in the mud. Republicans don't care about their constituents. How long is it going to take people to realise that Republicans don't care about them? Sorry, I'm going off on a rant.
Yeah, no, that's it in a nutshell. What can you say?
Just got to make sure that we all turn out with the midterms and vote every single last corrupt politician out. Vote them all out. Doesn't matter if they are Republicans or Democrat. If they are corrupt, they need to be voted out and they need to be held accountable for their actions and their part in what is happening in the government today. All need to be held accountable for that. Because it is the people, it is us, the people, that are suffering for their actions.
Yep. Well, moving on to another story. I got Christmas Day. Somebody just had an absolute fit at a gay man minding his business shopping. Gay guy in sweatpants and a hoodie was verbally attacked and abused with his own grocery cart on Christmas Day. So the victim was TikToker, and then the name, not going to say the name, who was strolling a Maryland market cereal aisle when he started recording the assault. Foul-mouthed perpetrator seemed to have a problem with his look. Not a problem. There he is. Let's see. Get this shit out of my motherfucking face, the woman yells while tossing Christmas shopper's cart. I don't even know you, he replies. Boy, get out of here with your gay ass, she says. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I guess, what's the story here? Her ex-husband left her for another man, and she's never forgiven him for that. You know, and it just went on and on and on, and then she just keeps, just taunting him, and he's just going back. Link will be in the description. You can read the article at your leisure. But it's like, goodness, please, what the hell? It's like, why must you make people's lives miserable? And then he's clearly trying to de-escalate, and he's like, look, I don't know you, just leave me alone. Yeah. So apparently they found her.
I mean, what is the world coming to when you're literally getting harassed whilst trying to do your shopping? Minding your own business, doing your shopping. Why do people feel the need to go and harass somebody who has not done them any harm? Like, can't you just mind your business and leave people alone?
Mind your fucking business.
Has nobody ever heard that saying? Even if you're not thinking nice things, doesn't mean that you need to speak on those,
Yeah.
You keep it to yourself and just move along. It's like changing the telly. You see something you don't like, you flip the channel, you switch it over. You don't have to participate. You don't have to leave a comment. You don't have to leave anything. You can just mind your business and move on with your day.
Oh, I mean, what a thought. What a thought.
I don't condone violence, but some of these hateful people really do need a good hard slap.
Yeah. In other news, CBS is tanking in the ratings. So apparently, the Daily Beast calls this a MAGA-coded CBS anchor. A CBS Evening News MAGA-coded freshman anchor Tony DeCalpel, whatever, made an appeal to viewers after his first week on the job ended in ratings bloodbath. DeCalpel, 45, saw his ratings plunge over his first 4 nights in the anchor seat following his disastrous debut on January 5th, while with viewership declining 11% overall. At the end of the Tuesday program, which featured a 13-minute interview with President Donald Trump at a Ford factory that was drowned out by machinery, the anchor made a forced appeal to viewers. Quote, "You may not agree with everything you hear on this broadcast, but we trust you to listen and we trust you to decide for yourself." And apparently, the viewers decided for themselves, and they're like, you know what? We don't need to hear this. We don't need to subject ourselves to this filleting Donald Trump on camera. And then you're going to interview him with a bunch of machinery? What asshole decided that was a good idea? He took a deep breath before signing off with his closing line, and that's another day in America.
Maybe whoever put it together was hoping that Trump would be drowned out by the loud machinery around them.
Well, if we can still hear Trump, that means it wasn't loud enough. But anyway,
True.
So apparently Barry Weiss, an anti-woke opinion journalist who was installed in the job by CBS new owner David Ellison, a Trump-friendly billionaire Nepo baby. So we know how he got the job. It wasn't because this person is, qualified. Only days after his first broadcast, during which he stumbled over the teleprompter, introduced himself twice, DeKalpel compared himself to Walter Cronkite. I don't know if you know who Walter Cronkite is. He was one of the biggest talking heads in the newsrooms. I mean, going back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, and I think he retired in the 90s. He had 30 million viewers nightly. Just people listening to his broadcast. That is how influential he was. This guy, this fuckface, couldn't even get 5 million on his premiere. And then it dropped off to 3.9. He never peaked 5 million. And I hope that continues. DeKalpel's show averaged about 4.17 million viewers from January 5th to the 11th. In comparison, well, I don't care about these guys. This moron on, I think this is X or Threads. Tony DeKalpel has a chance to be the Walter Cronkite of the 21st century. It's like, no, he doesn't. There's no chance. I mean, Rachel Maddow gets more than that. If anybody is going to be the Walter Cronkite, it's going to be Rachel Maddow. But whatever. Let's see. DeKalpel railed against legacy media for taking into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American. Well, I'm sorry, but the average American is an idiot. Why do we need their perspective? If the average American doesn't understand vaccines and how they work and their benefits, if the average American doesn't know if we've ever landed on the moon or if gravity exists or is the earth flat, I don't give a fuck about that average American. Oh, another thing he says, too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough of you. It's like, well, they're literally made it their life's work to study. That's why they're called analysts. So they're going to have a broader view of what's going on in the country instead of someone like me who goes to work at a dead-end job. Okay? I'm not going to have the perspective of an analyst. Okay, so why should they come to me for my perspective when my perspective is very limited, right? I don't know. People think they're just a little bit more relevant than they actually are. This explains it. DeKalpel, who shares a 4-floor townhouse. A 4-floor townhouse? in Brooklyn's most exclusive enclaves with his wife, anchor Katie Tour. Oh, that's how. Okay. Was educated at a $53,000 a year prep school. Attended George Washington University, Columbia University, but he didn't complete his PhD. Okay, well, whatever. That education was wasted on him, evidently. Somebody says, "Oh, I remember Walter Cronkite very well. One thing lacking today is reporting the news. Mr. Cronkite had his opinion, but he reported fairly and didn't worry about judgment if he kept his opinion out of the nightly news. He wasn't afraid to express an opinion." Let's see. He just did it after reporting what needed reported. With 24-hour news today, reporters and anchors need to opine to put their faces out front. I only watch... Okay. Yeah, this is what happens when a company MAGA hires instead of hiring based equitably on merit from a large and diverse applicant pool that includes all qualified candidates. MAGAs are, on average, vastly below standard intelligence. Okay. I can't argue with that. Yeah, so DeKalpel is not going to be the Walter Cronkite of the 21st. It's just not happening. Not happening, but...
Oh, no.
You do
that
you.
That reminds me as well. Have you seen the Republicans' new podcaster, Boy Wonder?
Who is it?
Oh, my. I can't remember his name now, but... he makes people from Idiocracy seem intelligent. And I'm not talking about President Comanche, I'm talking about like the other people. He makes them look intelligent. Oh my.
Okay, but what does he do? What does he talk about? What's his name?
I can't remember his name, but he's taken the place of Charlie Kirk. The Republicans are now favouring him, and they're now going to him to listen to the news and stuff, because apparently they can no longer trust Ben Shapiro, because they think Ben Shapiro's turned into a bit of a rhino, which I think is quite funny.
Well, he's Jewish. That's... And he
yeah.
is very pro-Israel, so...
Yeah. Oh, and they've started calling Tucker Carlson a rhino as well for him.
You see how far to the right we've been shoved?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't like Carlson. I really don't.
I don't care. He could say 50 things I might agree with.
Yeah.
I am not going to be advocating people going to Tucker Carlson. I will never forgive him for all of the disinformation he has been spreading for the last 20, 25 years. And this goes back to the early 2000s. Actually, 90s. And that motherfucker comes from credible news outlets. I mean, he was there. He worked for CNN. He worked for MSNBC back in the day. He worked for CBS. He got fired from every single one of them. You know, so yeah, I will not be. I will. It's like Candace Owens. It's like she can say one or two things that I agree with. I am not going to start championing Candace Owens and saying, yeah, I'm going to go to her for information. It's like going to the trash can for nutrition. Yeah, you'll find some nutrition in a trash can, but you got to dig through all the muck just to get it. No, thank you. So anyway, Mike Johnson is upset that the Clintons are defying Epstein's subpoenas. And he's not happy. House Speaker Mike Johnson on Tuesday reacted to former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton announcing their intent to defy subpoenas from the House Oversight Committee related to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, saying, by definition, it is contempt of Congress. Okay, so what? How many subpoenas did MAGA violate? How many subpoenas did Trump? He violated several subpoenas. He basically ignored them. Jim Jordan, I think he was subpoenaed. There were several members of Congress that decided not to honor the subpoenas that they were dealt with. So, fuck it. Release the Epstein files. That is in contempt of Congress. They should have released the Epstein files, and they're still not releasing them. James Comer, a Kentucky Republican, issued subpoenas for depositions from Bill and Hillary Clinton as part of its investigation into the Justice Department handling of the Epstein case. Okay, why do the Clintons have anything to do with the Justice Department and the Epstein case? Nah. So the Clintons, through a joint letter delivered Tuesday, stated their intent to refuse to comply. They argued that the demands were politically motivated and provided sworn statements similar to submissions accepted by the committee from other former officials, declaring that they had no relevant information to add to the inquiry. Exactly. The Clintons have nothing to do with the Department of Justice, the current Department of Justice. Reacting on Tuesday, Johnson said to CNN, when asked if House panel should speak with President Donald Trump in his previous relation, that Trump had addressed this issue ad nauseum. No, he hasn't. He hasn't addressed the issue at all. So, Mike Johnson can go fuck himself, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. To that I say, too bad. I really don't care if the Clintons, if you've got anything on them, if you've got any dirt, if you've got any wrongdoing, criminal acts, arrest them. Go ahead, arrest them. Shouldn't be that hard. But they're not going to do that. Because they'd have to go after Donald Trump as well. And they're not going to do that either, because they're fucking cowards. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining Skeptically Speaking podcast. If you like what you heard and you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. Cash App, Venmo, or become a patron subscriber. Link will be down in the description. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will be in your eyes and ears tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, yes. Hopefully tomorrow. I will have the name of that New Republican podcast of it. And he really can't debate his way out of a paper bag. It was so.
If it's who I think it is, I think I've heard him speak.
Secondhand, he's a kid.
Yeah, if it's if it's who I think it is, it ain't going nowhere. No one's going to.
No, I know. No, I know. But he seems to think
no charisma. This guy is just
Yes. Just want to thank everybody for being here. We hope you all have a lovely weekend. I unfortunately won't be here for show Tuesday.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
running
we'll
away
probably.
for my hopefully we'll be back Wednesday.
Yeah.
I could have the camera down my throat. I'm red as a beetroot at the moment.
And with that, yeah, hopefully that procedure goes. Yeah, keep us informed. We'll keep you informed, and then we'll see you all bright and early. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Yes, tomorrow. Night.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away the shake-up. You wanted to. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide, I cry when angels deserve to die. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Father, into your hands, why have you forsaken me?